A very exciting topic for today's video, ladies and gents. We're going to talk about investors. There's two things we're going to cover in today's video. Number one, should you consider bringing investors into your agency? And number two, what are the benefits of bringing the right investors on? Now, first of all, if you're new here to this channel, welcome. My name is Taylor Benterud. I started an agency called Better AMS, and we've scaled to over $160,000 per month. We have a team of almost 20 plus people remotely scattered across the globe. And I started the agency when I was 19 years old, had no money, yada, yada, yada. The purpose of this YouTube channel, which I started, is mainly to help you scale your agency to over 7 figures while not hating your life in the process of doing so, because there's a lot of people that are on that path and you don't have to go down that path. Okay, so those are the two topics that we're gonna cover. Now you got a little bit of background on me. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do so. Let's dive straight into this video. Okay, so number one, considering investors. First of all, whether or not you should bring investors into the agency, you should ask this question. Number one, what's your experience in business? Have you built $1 million company? Have you built a $2 million company, $5 million company, $10 million company? Like what level are you on the spectrum? Okay. If this is your first company, okay, and you're at, let's say $10,000, $20,000 per month, and you've never built a company beyond that point, you're very early on, and likely instead of investors, what you should be looking for is a mentor. So the question here is really, should you get a mentor or an investor? What's the difference? First of all, the difference between a mentor, in my opinion, let me bust out the pen so we can draw on this screen, is that a mentor is somebody who isn't going to be taking equity in your company, but you're going to be paying them some money. So again, mentor equals money, but not equity, okay? And an investor is somebody who's going to be actually giving you money and going to be taking equity, right? So pretty straightforward. Now, whether or not you should get a mentor or investor, because an investor technically is a mentor, the only difference is you're getting married to them. It comes down to this question that I have right here, the $1 million test. Okay, if I handed you $1 million, what would you do with it? Do you know exactly what you would do with it? Could you give me a really detailed plan and explain why you would put the money where you would put it? Now, here's why I have that question. When I was doing $20,000, $35,000 a month in my first year or two of running Better AMS, I had no idea what I would do with such capital because I didn't have the mental frameworks and the models and the mindset and the ability to understand business and how it works and the machine and all the parts of it to be able to even know where we could put some money to make it go to $200,000, $300,000 per month. So at that stage, I didn't pass this $1 million test where I know where I'd put this money. And the second thing is you just have to have humility and like humbleness, and you have to be honest with yourself. Like, of course I could have came up with a plan and figured out where to put the money and like figured out where to put it. But the reality is would I be confident in where that money is going to be going? So anybody can, spend $1 million, but like, do you have strong confidence in where you're going to be spending that money? So if you don't have this, I would recommend you go down the mentor route. And as you collect these principles and frameworks from a mentor who doesn't need equity in your company, then it's a little bit better to go out to investors and start having conversations around raising money. Because if you don't even know where to put the money or like that, I mean, you're far off from like considering investors, in my opinion, because again, you can't even really talk to the basics and fundamentals of business. So that's, in my opinion, a good little litmus test to know whether or not you should consider bringing on investors. Pretty straightforward. Number two that we're gonna go through here is the benefits of investors, okay? So let's say that you're like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm gonna do with $1 million. I have a really good understanding of the bottlenecks that we're facing in our company, the industry that we're in, and how we can best market our services to the industry. We have a strong service market fit. Let's say you got the business acumen and the knowledge to know where you could put the money. Okay, fantastic. And this is where our agency is at, by the way, and we're going through this process right now of potentially looking to bring on investors. I don't want to disclose too much information, but here's the 3 benefits that I believe are the reasons why we would consider investors. So number 1 is knowledge of the pathway. Everything in life is a bridge, and the bridge is taking you from one place to the next place. And this is your current situation, this is your desired situation, and everybody has certain goals. And so, I'm over here on this bridge and we're doing $160,000 a month, And, you know, we want to get to like, you know, ideally $500,000 per month in the next 2 to 3 years. Well, fantastic. How are we going to get there? I don't know. I mean, I have my hypothesis on how we're going to get there, but I've never done it. That's the benefit of an investor. An investor is somebody who's already crossed this bridge before. They've done it and they can tell you their lessons that they've learned along the way of doing it themselves. Now, obviously not all investors could do this because there's some investors who, let's say, are happy to give you some money, but they've never scaled a marketing agency from $0 to $500,000 a month. They just have a lot of money. That's not the kind of investor that we're personally looking for. And ideally, in my opinion, if you're looking for an investor for your agency, especially in the early stages, you want to find somebody who can also be a mentor to you. So this is where we're looking for a kind of a hybrid between a, you know, investor and a mentor model, like between the two, right? Because there's obviously people that have a lot of money, but they don't understand your business model, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so the second reason for, you know, bringing on, or second benefit for bringing on an investor is more rocket fuel, ladies and gents. It's a pretty simple concept. What is rocket fuel? We're going to consider rocket fuel to be our treasure chest. And the treasure chest is just simply the amount of money that we have. Okay. Now, rocket fuel is just capital. It's money that we're going to use to be able to invest in things to help grow the business. So let's say that I have a strong you know, idea that we're going to use this money to hire this specific person, and this specific person is going to be an executive hire. They're going to be making about $150,000 per year. Okay, that's a lot of money to bring in. We're going to use the capital for this hire. Let's say that there's maybe let's say that there's 3 other people in this kind of position. We're already racking up $450,000 per year, and so like it's pretty easy to think about where you're gonna put money. That doesn't even include like advertising, yada yada yada. So there's just more fuel to be able to put into the business. So what are the moves that you're gonna make with the money that you're gonna get from the investors? Pretty straightforward. And the last one that I have here is armor. You know, as you build up a bigger war chest and you have more funds in your little treasure chest, it makes you more resilient to things like a recession, things like, you know, losing some of your top team members and your top talent. More money is just always better, healthier, safer for the longevity of your company. So those are the 3 primary benefits that I can think of right now. And there's obviously a lot of other benefits, but ladies and gents, I think that if you pass the $1 million test, you should highly consider looking for an investor who has also gotten to where you want to get to and can help you along the way. This is what we're considering doing in our agency right now. And we'll see what the effects are in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. It's going to be a really exciting ride. So ladies and gents, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. And if you wanted help scaling your agency, there's a link in the description of this video where you can book a call with me and get an agency audit, which is free, by the way, and extremely valuable. And it's only for people that are already doing at least 6 figures with their agency. So you have to be doing at least 6 figures, or 7 or 8 figures is totally fine too. So much love, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao. Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch another one that's extremely valuable, I just selected it for you, and you can check it out by clicking it right there on the other side of the screen across from my face. All right, friend, enjoy. Thanks for watching the channel.